As the vast grasslands gradually become quiet, wild dogs begin to emerge amidst rivals always ready to react to protect their survival distance. From impala to hyena or oryx, each confrontation quickly escalates into close-quarters combat, cutting off movement and creating constant pressure on the open ground. In a world where even a slow reaction can change the course of the battle, wild dogs maintain their advantage through synchronized coordination and the relentless attack of the entire pack. On the open grassland, a pack of impalas slowly forages for food and constantly observes their surroundings. Impalas have a very keen sense of alertness. Even the slightest sound or unusual movement near the bushes can cause the entire pack to change direction almost simultaneously. Their speed and agility allow them to maintain a steady pace when signs of danger appear. While the impalas remain in formation near the open area, the wild dogs begin to spread out and silently close the distance to the group near the edge of the pack. One group of wild dogs circles ahead to block the escape route, while the group behind constantly closes in and cuts across the path of an impala that is slow to change direction. When a wild dog suddenly accelerates, the chase quickly becomes more intense. When the impala's running rhythm begins to become erratic, the wild dogs continuously maintain pressure around the target that has become separated from the pack. Impala tried to change direction to escape, but the safe distance gradually narrowed as the chase continued. The hunt ended with the wild dog emerging victorious, demonstrating how the coordinated efforts of the pack can diminish the impala's speed advantage. On the muddy riverbank, an adult crocodile lay low to the surface, only its eyes and nose visible, observing the river's edge. Crocodiles often ambush in areas frequented by watering animals. Their powerful jaws and ability to firmly grip their target underwater give them an advantage as the pack of wild dogs approaches the water's edge. While the crocodile remained near the deeper water, the pack of wild dogs slowed down after their long chase and began observing every movement on the surface. Several wild dogs approached the riverbank to survey the area, one stepping too close to the soft mud. Suddenly, the crocodile lunged out of the water, cutting across the retreating direction towards the bank. The pack of wild dogs immediately split up and signaled a warning. As the pack of wild dogs quickly created space for the individual near the bank to retreat away from the water's edge, the crocodile continued to maintain its advantage in the river area. The wild dog was forced to move away from the dangerous mud and retreat from the edge of the bank before returning to a safe area. The confrontation ended with the crocodile regaining control of the water's edge, demonstrating that even a slow reaction can quickly change the course of events. Along the dry grasslands during migration season, a pack of wildebeest maintains close formation, observing movements in the distance. Wildebeests have a very strong vigilance and often react quickly to any unusual signs near the pack. While the wildebeest pack remains in formation, the wild dog pack silently spreads out, gradually narrowing the gap around a slow-moving individual. the wild dog suddenly accelerates to drive the prey away from the pack, while other individuals continuously circle to either side to cut off the wildebeest's escape route. After several rapid changes of direction, the wildebeest's pace begins to slow down as the pack of wild dogs maintains pressure around the separated target. The hunt concludes with the wild dog winning, demonstrating how continuous coordinated pressure can gradually cause prey to lose their initial advantage. On dry land near the low grass, an adult lion stands still, observing its surroundings and maintaining its position near its resting spot. Lions have highly developed hunting instincts and usually react very quickly when they detect movement near their territory. Their strength in the shoulders, neck, and front legs gives the lion a significant advantage when the wild dog pack begins to approach the area. Outside the low grass, the wild dogs begin to spread out and constantly change direction to monitor the lion's reaction. Some wild dogs approach and then separate to pull their opponent away from its original position, while others circle to the sides to apply continuous pressure. When the wild dogs suddenly accelerate and approach the resting area, the lion immediately reacts by lunging forward, forcing the pack to spread further apart. As the lion begins to move away from its resting spot, the wild dogs continue to circle briefly, but do not maintain close contact for too long. The lion held its position, forcing the wild dogs to reduce pressure and gradually retreat from the open area. The confrontation ended with the lion having the advantage, showing that wild dogs still need to recognize the dangerous limits when facing stronger opponents. On dry, low-lying ground, a warthog moves slowly, constantly observing its surroundings before heading towards open areas. Warthogs have very keen survival instincts and often quickly rush to their burrows when they detect danger nearby. While the warthog tries to maintain its direction near the low-lying area, the pack of wild dogs also begins to spread out to control its direction of travel, instead of charging straight ahead. A group constantly follows behind, while others circle to the sides to force the warthog to constantly turn defensively. When the warthog turns back to react with headbutts, the pack of wild dogs quickly splits and cuts across its path when an opening appears. The hunt ends with the wild dogs winning, demonstrating how collective coordination can gradually reduce the warthog's defensive advantage. In the area with low trees and thick bushes, the leopard remained still, constantly observing the movements below. Leopards are stealthy hunters, usually waiting for the right distance before emerging from their hiding place. Their short-range acceleration gave the leopard an advantage, as the wild dogs began to approach the area still smelling of food. Below the low trees, the wild dogs quickly spread out around the leopard's position, constantly changing direction to maintain pressure from the ground. A few wild dogs approached, and then quickly separated to force the leopard to react and change position. When the wild dog suddenly accelerated and moved closer, the leopard also quickly retreated towards a nearby tree trunk. After being forced to change position several times, the leopard no longer maintained its distance near the low bushes, but quickly climbed a tree to avoid pressure from multiple directions. The wild dogs controlled the area below for a short time, before gradually slowing down around the base of the tree. The confrontation ended when the leopard proactively maintained a safe distance, high above the ground, under pressure from the entire pack of wild dogs. In a direct competitive environment around open ground, a hyena constantly maintains its position and observes movements near the food source. Hyenas excel in endurance and the ability to maintain pressure for extended periods when facing other predators. From a safe distance, the pack of wild dogs constantly changes direction and maintains a rhythm of movement before beginning to close in around the hyena's position. Some wild dogs quickly dash into open space and then immediately split up, while others circle to the sides to maintain continuous pressure around their opponent. As the rhythm of control around the open ground begins to stretch, the hyena's movement becomes unstable as the pack of wild dogs maintains a distance and closes in from multiple directions. The confrontation ends when the wild dogs gain the advantage thanks to their coordination and sustained pressure. In the middle of a vast, unobstructed expanse of dry land, an oryx constantly maintains its position, observing any movement around the open space ahead. The oryx always tries to maintain a safe distance and is ready to react when danger approaches. Outside the open space, a pack of wild dogs continuously approaches, then quickly separates to create pressure from multiple directions around the oryx's position. A few wild dogs suddenly accelerate and cut across the open space ahead, forcing the oryx to constantly turn its head to maintain its defensive rhythm. After repeatedly changing direction to maintain a safe distance, the oryx can no longer maintain its initial stable defensive rhythm against the relentless onslaught of the wild dogs. The hunt ends with the wild dogs winning, as the oryx's safe space is gradually taken over time. After a series of intense confrontations in the open fields, the wild dog pack continues to move between rivals, always ready to react for survival. Each hunt not only demonstrates the endurance and coordination of the pack, but also reflects how animals constantly adapt to maintain an advantage in a harsh environment. If you want to continue following more intense hunts and survival strategies in the wild. Stay tuned for the following parts. In the wild, controlling distance is the first factor determining any confrontation. As distance narrows, the rhythm of reaction becomes the next decisive factor. If one side maintains its rhythm and direction of movement, they retain the advantage. Otherwise, the tide turns. The entire outcome lies not in strength, but in who controls the situation at the critical moment. In a state of high readiness, the leopard relies on instantaneous acceleration to create distance at the first sign of danger. It moves stealthily, maintaining distance and always ready to change direction to avoid direct contact. Its quick reflexes allow it to escape danger before pressure builds. However, this state only lasts as long as the distance remains unbroken. From a low, hidden position, the leopard begins to close the distance without making any clear signals. It chooses the moment and suddenly lunges in, closing in quickly to gain control from the outset. The action takes place in a few short seconds, leaving no time for the opponent to react. The mother leopard immediately turns around, accelerates, and counterattacks directly to protect her cub. The advantage shifts completely when the leopard doesn't lose its initial control. The leopard's counterattacks were frequent but insufficient to change the distance. Pressure was maintained at close range, preventing the leopard from sustaining its direction of movement. The outcome was determined when the leopard maintained control throughout. The result was maintained from the moment control was uninterrupted. The leopard could react quickly and apply pressure, but could not reverse the situation once it lost the initiative. The leopard maintained its advantage through its ability to hold its position and control consistently. The difference was decided when one side maintained control from start to finish. In calm water, hippos define their space with a very clear territorial instinct. They spend most of their time submerged, only exposing their eyes, ears, and nostrils for constant observation. At the first sign of unusual movement, they immediately turn their heads, signal a warning, and maintain their central position. Despite weighing thousands of pounds, they can accelerate briefly on land to about 20 miles per hour and react very quickly when their boundaries are breached. Lions approach from the edge of the bank at a slow pace, maintaining distance before entering the water. As soon as they enter shallow water, their footing decreases, their speed is limited, and their movement becomes less flexible. The hippo immediately recognizes the intrusion and accelerates directly towards them, closing the distance in a short time. The lion loses its hunting posture and shifts to escaping, forced to swim instead of controlling the situation. The decisive moment arrived when the lion realized it no longer controlled the distance. The lion retreated toward the shore, and the gap widened. On land, the lion still had a chance. In the water, the hippo maintained almost absolute control. The crucial point lay in the shift from land to water. In that change, The lion realized it was in the wrong environment and the balance of power was gone. In the open space, the hyena doesn't rush to approach, but maintains a flexible pace to avoid early collision. It moves in circles, keeping its distance and constantly observing to control the situation. The slow but steady pace creates sustained pressure without direct contact. From this state, the opponent is forced to take the initiative. After a prolonged period of dodging, the leopard suddenly closes in to regain control. It accelerates, attacks repeatedly, and tries to finish the fight quickly. The hyena doesn't stand still to confront it, continuing to dodge and maintain a safe distance. The confrontational pace turns into a prolonged, evasive attack, causing the leopard to gradually lose its initial advantage. The decisive moment comes when the leopard realizes its attack rhythm is no longer effective. The close-range approaches become less frequent, and the distance is no longer as tight as before. The risk increased when it couldn't finish quickly. It chose to retreat to a higher position for safety. From that development, the advantage didn't come from speed or the number of attacks. The hyena controlled the situation with patience and the ability to maintain steady pressure. The leopard lost its advantage when it couldn't finish quickly and was forced to change tactics. The difference emerged at the point where one side maintained its rhythm, while the other did not. In the vast grasslands, buffaloes maintain their safety by keeping formation and moving in sync with the herd. Under pressure, they close the distance, move toward the threat, and maintain a stable structure. Each individual holds its position, forming a continuous defensive line. This stability ensures that any changes are slow and controlled. While the structure remains stable, lions begin to approach from multiple directions to exert pressure. They move low, change angles, and gradually narrow the space. Pressure increases with each step, forcing the herd to shift in a lead rhythm. The distance between individuals begins to shift, creating temporary weaknesses. The decisive moment is formed when the herd's rhythm is disrupted by a sudden change. An individual accelerates in an unpredictable direction, cutting across the approaching trajectory. The encirclement rhythm was broken, and the pressure was no longer synchronized. The lion stopped and retreated when it lost control of the situation. From that development, the advantage didn't lie in strength, but in the ability to adapt at the right moment. The buffalo remained safe thanks to its herd structure and a surprise reaction. The lion lost its advantage when the hunting rhythm was broken and the pressure wasn't maintained. When the rhythm is gone, the outcome changes in a clear direction. In a challenging environment, leopards maintain their advantage through agility and instantaneous reactions. They move alone, keeping their distance and always ready to change direction within a tight space. Each short, decisive step helps maintain a steady rhythm as the distance narrows. When two individuals approach, the balance quickly shifts to confrontation. When confrontation occurs, there is no probing phase. and the attack begins immediately. One individual closes in, maintaining a rapid and continuous rhythm to create psychological pressure. Approaches take place at very close range, forcing the opponent to react repeatedly. The gap disappears, the rhythm is heightened, and there is no time to stabilize. The decisive moment occurs when one individual can no longer maintain the continuous chain of reactions. It backs back to create distance, while the other individual maintains pace and takes position. The space tilts toward the one that maintains speed and controls direction. The result is formed when one side leaves the area to avoid prolonged risk. When maintaining close bonds, baboons rely on coordination among individuals to stay safe from unexpected pressure. Individuals constantly observe, adjust their positions, and are ready to react at the first sign of trouble. Adults do not retreat, but actively advance when necessary. From this state, danger only truly arises if the formation is broken. A small gap appears and is immediately exploited with a short, decisive acceleration. The leopard quickly closes in, hoping to separate an individual from the group in a brief moment. But the baboons do not disintegrate. Instead, they immediately tighten their formation. The alpha male advances, charging into a direct confrontation and applying immediate pressure. The entire offensive comes to a halt when the group structure is not disrupted as anticipated. The collective counterattack was relentless, causing the leopards to lose their rhythm and position. The pressure from multiple individuals rapidly increased the risk, forcing the leopards to retreat to avoid injury. The result was that the formation was maintained, and the attack could not be sustained. Always ready, the zebra maintains its safety by constantly adjusting its direction upon detecting pressure. It keeps its distance, observes, and only accelerates when necessary to avoid being locked onto. Its powerful legs allow for instantaneous reactions at close range. From that stable foundation, even a small misstep in timing can change the entire course of events. From the narrowed distance, the leopard explodes with acceleration and closes in a matter of seconds. It moves into close range to create a moment of imbalance, while the prey is still moving. The zebra doesn't maintain its direction, but slows down for a brief moment to turn around. The kick is delivered at the right time, interrupting the close-range approach and forcing the leopard to lose its balance. The initial advantage is no longer maintained when the attack rhythm is interrupted immediately after the approach. The leopard lost its balance, its will to pursue diminished, and it stopped to avoid further risk. The gap widened, and the zebra accelerated away from the area. The outcome was decided by a timely reaction that reversed the entire hunt. On flat terrain, the wildebeest relies on instantaneous reflexes to maintain a safe distance from any unusual movement. It remains alert, ready to accelerate when the distance narrows and maintain balance at high speed. Its heavy but stable body helps it resist pressure at close range. From this state, every approach must be precise, for even a moment's delay will break the distance. When the distance is reduced to a point of no delay, The leopard shifts from observation to decisive approach. It accelerates in a short burst, closing in quickly and clinging to the wildebeest's body to control its movement. The wildebeest reacts forcefully, struggling and pushing back to maintain balance. The collision rhythm is continuous, shifting from approach to control in short seconds. The breakpoint occurs when the balance is disrupted in a very short period. The wildebeest's body veers off course and loses its initial stability. The leopard maintains its position, sustains pressure, and quickly gains complete control of the situation. Not every hunt ends with a collision, but with a moment when one side pauses, pressure can be created, but it cannot always be maintained. A timely response can halt an entire pre-planned attack. In nature, victory belongs to the one who knows when to hold and when to stop.